Hello guys.
You're here. We're going to do an iris tonight, so come join the fun. A lot of white, so it's a very airy kind of color. This is a wood base. I love painting on wood when I can. It is a 6 by 12, so it's a nice size. What is a VIP, Diane? So I have a group that I call my VIPs. They're my monthly membership. Teach, every week inside the group, and then I have a paint night once a month that's a more difficult painting that takes longer, and we do that together. And lots of other things, but that's what I call our group. It's just, I call it VIPs, and it's just a play on the very important person, but everybody's important regardless of whether they're in there, so it's very inspiring people. So anyway, that's what it is, and you can get information about it on my website. We have a lot of fun in there. Okay, so we've got this blue, a really pretty kind of soft, feathery blue. Let me move this, put the brush in water. So let's make our purple. I'm using these heavy body acrylics tonight. Put out some little bit of pink. I'm going to put out some blue. We'll put a little green out for the greenery. This is just regular. Now let me show you all the difference. So if you haven't ever tried the heavy body, see, this one is the regular craft paint, and it doesn't take very long for it to start running. You see, these don't go anywhere, they stay. I can turn it upside down and they're just going to stay. They're nice and thick. So let's mix and grab I always have a palette knife, although I don't see my palette knives. Must have put them in another container, so I'm going to use a craft stick for now. And our blue is going to be pretty strong, but I probably need quite a bit, so I'm going to use quite a bit. I still think that could be too much. Let me take a little bit out. Use all that pink, and let's see if we can make a purple. Set that aside. Now we're going to take I'm using a brush, I'm not going to use a palette knife, and we're just going to hold this up where you can see what I'm doing. They have lots of little folds and we're going to work this in here. There we go. I think I've kind of worked in that little mistake. So basically I'm just using this purple to put down a base for the other things I do. Finally got there, and I like that it's a little darker because now I can add some white, and that will be my highlights for it. Let's make kind of a long droopy, make it your own, but just flowy. So you see, I'm just kind of filling this in however I think it needs to be, because they do have these lots of flowy pieces to them. And then I don't want any harsh edges, so kind of trying to make that, if you kind of break up your edges and don't have them be straight. So this is a straight edge right here, but this would be a flowy, so it gives you the illusion of flowy. That's why you want to do that. really happy with this look. Let's just let this sit a second while I do a stem, and then we'll come back on top and do some other things. So let's do our stem, and I'm going into this green. I'm going to load up this brush. So I'll start here, and I don't have a lot of pressure. And then you can see hopefully that I'm pressing down more, and it kind of gets a little bigger as we get toward the bottom. Like so. I like a pretty hardy stem for this flower. And because I did get the lime green, I'm going to use it. And I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just going to put some of this lime green right on top of what I have. And we will put a little bit down one side like so, all the way down. This gives us our highlight that we need on that stem to make it more interesting. Can y'all see? Okay, so now let's do a little bit of greenery down here. We don't have to do a whole ton. So again, I'm going to take a lot of that green on my brush and just kind of put some down here so it's not totally bare. Just up and down. You can get a thinner brush if you want to and make it more grass-like, but I just want the illusion of grass. You could put yours in a vase too, you know, do whatever you want to do. And then what I'm going to do here is put some of this, make a leaf kind of thing, like so. That. And then we'll take some of that lime green and come along. Okay, so I'm going to take what I have left, I'm going to add a little white to it, and like I said, I didn't get one of these in white just because I was at my limit, but you know, it's great to have a white, and we're going to lighten up some of this and use it as our highlight. Put some highlights on here. Now, but you're just letting the brush do the work. Just whimsical little strokes to show movement, to show highlights. Don't overthink it. I think that is a lot of our problem, is that we look at something, we want to do it, and we try to make it perfect, but it does not have to be perfect. Anyone who looks at this will realize it's an iris, right? And it's just it's a whimsical style of painting that frees us up, frankly. You know, it takes out all of the nervousness, or should, when you're painting. You're just making marks with your brush, and when you have a few good brushes, and I don't mean expensive, but just some good brushes that work well, then there you have it. Just a few little strokes, and there you go. I think I'm going to add in a little yellow. So let's go to a smaller brush. Now, yellow is translucent. Even when we are using these higher quality paints, it's still going to be translucent. So I'm going to add a little white to it, and that will help a lot. So it doesn't really change the color very much, but it definitely helps with the opacity of it. So just a little white will do you a lot of good when you're using yellow. I actually like this yellow color that we made. So there's the two. One's a little darker and one's got the little white in it. And so I'm going to kind of make a center of this flower. So I'm going to start here in the middle and just kind of start coming out with some strokes and kind of coming up into the purple. If it mixes, that's okay, because usually the dark or the center of your flower is dark anyway. And I just kind of wiped off my brush, grabbed some more yellow, and I'm going to kind of bring it out a little bit. So just letting the brush feather out into some more of this flower. And then I'm going to just clean it off a little, grab my white. A little bit of white, not a whole lot. You see that? Just a little. Going into that darker yellow, so I put a little bit of white right in the very center. Now I can take that darker yellow and just kind of pat it down so that that is my center and it's the darkest yellow. Okay. Okay, so there's our white highlights. Okay, guys, this is it for tonight. Thank y'all for being here. Have a good night. Bye-bye.